McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theater.
With every monthly bill, like rent and car payments, you know exactly what you're getting when you pay for it. But health insurance plans feel like the total opposite. They're confusing and expensive. Then when you actually have to use your benefits, there are deductibles, claims, processes, and other red tape to deal with. But Crowd Health puts you back in control of your healthcare. Crowd Health is simple, transparent, and affordable. As a member, you'll get a personal care advocate who is with you every step of the way to help navigate the complexities of health events. They'll even negotiate bills on your behalf and could save you thousands of dollars in the process. Plus, you'll get access to thousands of other members who are ready to help pay for large health expenses. Experience healthcare freedom with Crowd Health. Visit joincrowdhealth.com and use code HEALTH to get your first 3 months for just $99 per month. That's joincrowdhealth.com, code HEALTH. Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's a totally different way of paying for healthcare. Terms and conditions may apply.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy David with Black Wealth Renaissance, and I'm here today to tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the best place to make a podcast. Anchor is a free app that has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone. Anchor also distributes your podcast across all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also make money on your podcast with Anchor with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're looking to get started on your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.
You know the rules of the game.
Yeah.
You know the rules of the game. I don't care what color. Can you make me 100 million? Let's talk money. Can you make me that? If you can't make me that, I won't talk to you. You shouldn't even be at this table.
Hey, I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily. All I want is dubs. You know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper. All I know is run money marathon.
Do 5 years of this and be a millionaire and go on do what I want to do, have kids, go live my chip and joy in the gangs life out here in Texas, or struggle for the next 10 years. The choice is yours.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Our goal of this podcast is to normalize black wealth and share helpful resources and tips we believe will be useful in attaining and maintaining generational wealth. Please feel free to rate and comment on our podcast. We would love to hear all feedback you have. Now, enjoy the show.
Everybody, it's your boy Kelly checking in.
What up? It's your boy Jerry checking in. What's good with y'all?
Man, shit, bro. Happy to be back again, man.
Another
episode. Ready to drop some more knowledge on them. Let's go, man. We got a great episode planned.
Another very special episode. This one, another one started in the DMs. We came across this guy on Instagram. He was talking about the vending biz, and vending machines is something Jalen and I always talking about trying to get into.
Mm-hmm.
So we reached out while we were in Atlanta, and we thought bro was in Atlanta, actually. Yeah, I don't know how we got that one. We reached out hoping we could get him on the podcast then, but we got him now. None other than Mr. Kashife Edwards, a.k.a. the Vending Biz. Kashife, how you feeling, bro?
How y'all doing, man? I'm feeling good.
Oh, we good, bro. We can't complain, man. Thank you for coming on.
No problem.
For sure, man. The way we normally just kick it off, we get our guests to really just tell our audience who they are and like how'd you get started to where you're at right now. What was that process like, finding your niche and being able to be successful in what you're doing?
Well, like y'all said, my name is Kashief. I'm out in Philly. And basically, the way I got started was, I kind of had the idea for the vending machine thing in the back of my head, like for pretty much a long time, because when I was younger, I played basketball. So I played ball, and in the gym, they always got the vending machines. And it was every Sunday we had practice, and it was this lady that used to come service the machines on Sundays. So I always used to watch her, and she would always grab like crazy money out of the machine. I was like, damn, I want one of the machines. Like, and, you know, there's years down the line, like after I finished, so I went to college. I went to Niagara University. Then I went to Northeastern University and got my master's. And after that, you know, I started working, and I was like, man, I want to start, you know, doing something for myself. And so that's when I started, you know, kind of get into the vending machine thing. But I actually, I tried, I think it was 2 times before I actually got it on the third. It took me like 2 years to start. For whatever reason, and stuff just kept happening. Either I had the money, then I wouldn't have the money. Then I had a machine, and I lost the location before I got the machine in the location. So by the time I actually started, it was probably like 2 years after I had already, you know, made up my mind to actually do it. And then, you know, I finally, you know, it finally aligned, and I actually started with gumball machines. So I started with, I think it was four U-turn machines. I'm not sure if you guys know what those are, but
like
basically the machines you put quarters in.
Yeah.
And you turn it, and then the candy come out.
Yeah.
So I have 4 of those. That was going okay. Like, I like those because you only got to go to them once a month. Like, so it was like, all right, well, you know, it's passive. It ain't going to take none of my time. I just get whatever it was, maybe. I think I was getting like $100, $150 a month, just extra pocket money. But I started growing that. So I had 4, and then I brought probably like 5 more. I placed those, and then I brought a whole route out. So I ended up with like 20-something of those. And at that point, I was making around $1,000 a month off of those.
Damn.
So, you know, in the average, a good location with those would get you about $50. But I had a couple of like recreation centers that was doing like $200, or, you know, different spots give you more, other spots give you less or whatever. But, you know, it wasn't bad. I was doing pretty good with it. But it was a guy who was doing vending machines, but he started out with the gumball machines. So when I was buying the gumball machines, I was always buying them from him. Like, when I found the spot, I go back to him, like, yo, let me get another machine. He was like, man, why don't you just buy vending machines? And I was thinking, like, damn, like, I did want to, you know, get the vending machines. But at that point, I was kind of content with the little candy joints because they wasn't really taking nothing out of me. But I ended up listening to him. He had a soda machine he was trying to get rid of. I brought the soda machine, and I put it in a hotel. Now, mind you, I know y'all not really familiar with Philly, but this hotel is like known to be crazy. It was always shooting over there. They was fighting. It was just a lot of like nonsense. So I was kind of skeptical whether I wanted to put it in there or not. But when I thought about it, it was like, all right, well, where they wanted it at was like in the middle of the lobby. And then I know it was busy because it was always a lot of people there. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to just do it. So I put it in there. And, you know, and I mean, it was crazy, man, because it really, where I was seeing like $50 off of a candy machine, I was making, you know, I made $50 like quick. And that same week, I put the machine in there, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, the money is a lot faster. And then it ended up doing probably, like, on my second month having that, I ended up doing around $600 or $700 with that machine.
Damn.
So then I put another machine in there. I put a snack machine in. The snack machine did pretty much the same thing. It was doing like $600 or $700. And at that time I was working, while I was working without doing any overtime, I was only getting like $800 a check. So it was topping what I was getting, like not like overall anyway, that not like profit, but overall income, it was topping what I was getting from work. So I was like, at that point, I just started going harder with it. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much how I got started. But like I know we was talking a little earlier too. I was doing real estate at that time too a little bit with the wholesaling thing. I was focused more on that than I was focused on the machines. When I ran into a couple bad deals with the with the wholesaling, and I kind of locked in more on the vending machines and started trying to really push that, and I started doing that full time. And pretty much I got to where I'm at now. This everything that I was getting back, I was just reinvesting into the business. So, you know, I never stopped working. I never stopped doing none of that. So all the money I had coming in, I was using it to buy more machines.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing I was doing with the candy joints. All the money I got, I was just growing and growing and growing. You know, that's pretty much what happened. So,
how many locations do you have now?
I think I got around. I go by machines. I got around 20 machines. So, but to be honest, like I've had more. So, but I find though, because I'm doing everything by myself, what I like to do is I'll go, whenever I get to a certain point where I feel it's too much, I'll sell off my slower spots so I can keep it like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get to a point where I have to hire people. That's not really my goal. I just want to keep it passive, and I want to keep it like family owned. Like I want my kids, and you know, I got a son. My son is 3. I want him to work with me. I don't want other people coming in and, you know, doing our thing. But once I get to a certain point, I'll sell off like my slower locations. So that's another way you make money, like in a business, is like flipping spots.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
Hey, man. I'm going to let Jared go.
Oh, no, I had a question because basically from what you had told us before, kind of picking out a piece of that, you said it took you about 2 years to get everything rolling. And I know, like, with vending machines, like on the outside looking in, it looked like, you know what I'm saying, just buy a machine, you know, find a location, put it in. But like, can you speak to some of those extra obstacles and stuff that people probably not seeing?
You know what's really crazy? When I started that vending machine page, I was like, you know, because people kept asking me, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? I was like, man, I should start an Instagram page telling people how to do it. But when I thought about it, I was like, man, all you do is just buy machines and then put them in a place. But like, when you really think about it, it's a lot more to it that, you know, that you don't really think of. And what kind of helped me out was I had my guy move, one of my best friends from college. He had saved up a lot of money. And he was like, yo, I want to invest in the machines with you. Because at that time, I was growing so fast. I was looking for somebody to help me, for real. So he moved down here from, he lived in Rochester, New York, which is about like 7 hours away. So he moved down here and he started buying machines and we started doing stuff together. But when I was explaining it to him, you know, it kind of gave me the content that I'll be posting on that page because, you know, just from him asking questions, I know those are the same questions that other people got. But, you know, I guess the tricky part to it is, I know what took me longer to start is figuring out how to get the locations, right? Figuring out how to meet the people to, you know, for me to sit down and talk to them and get the machines in there, because it was just hard. Because I know one spot, my first spot that I was supposed to get was a recreation center. Mm-hmm. So I met with the rec. I went and tried to meet with the rec. I talked to the head person in there. We were supposed to sit down and have a meeting. I went back probably 2 weeks later. He was supposed to call me, didn't call me. I went back like 2 weeks later. They had a vending machine in there. They brought a vending machine in and put one in the building. So they just kind of undercut me. I'm like, all right, man, like, all right. So that's the first thing that stopped me, because after that happened, I was like, all right, whatever. And it took me a long time to find another spot to be able to put it in, like, where I could put one. And I ended up, I got with this company out in Maryland. They found me a hotel downtown over here in Philly. But when I went to go see the location, it was like, the hotel was small. Like, it was like, it had small hallways. And they were sending me a combo machine. So I'm like, I called them. I was like, I don't think the machine is going to fit in that hallway. They're like, oh, no, it's going to fit, it's a standard size machine. It could definitely fit in a hotel. Blah, blah. I'm like, okay. They brought the machine all the way down here. Didn't fit up. They had to try to take it up the steps. It didn't fit up the steps. So I was back to square one again. So pretty much that first 2 years was just me trying to figure out how to find a spot. And that's when I started doing the candy machines and stuff, because it was just easier.
So, Kashief, I did want to ask. You mentioned that the candy machines, they were paying out like the $150 a month versus the vending machines paying out like $600 a week. What?
No, not $600. Like $600. The vending machines were doing like $600 to $700 a month.
Okay, my bad. A month. Either way. So it's doing $700 a month. How much did the machine cost you?
My first machine cost me $900.
Damn.
That's a good flip, bro. That's a
good machine. That's gonna last it too, man. It lasted a long time.
That's a great flip.
Yeah, man.
In a month. What you mean?
It was good. That's why I kept going with it.
Yeah, man.
And I want to talk to like how you guys started with like the gumball machines, man, because a lot of people that'll look past that, like, man, that's some chump change. I don't want to be getting quarters. I don't want to just go look at quarters every month. But you said, you know what? Fuck it. Let me see what it do. And you said, I'm going to take that slow grind, that slow penny, and I'm going to just flip it. And then you flipped it into 20 machines. Now you're making $1,000 a month off of that slow grind. And you got to do way less work than checking your route every week. You're only checking it once a month.
Right. The only tedious thing about the candy machines was just driving to them because it was so many of them. You gotta go over there, pick up all the quarters. Like, so going from spot to spot to pick up the quarters. Well, compared to what I be doing now, that's nothing. Like, so, but yeah, man, I definitely, I don't like staying stagnant. So I wanted to do something, even though I couldn't figure out how to do the 4 machines. That I ain't wanted to sit down and not do nothing. So I just started with that.
For sure. And then back to like the location part. Like, now is there a certain criteria you go after with locations? Like, how now do you focus and say, man, this spot might be a money maker. I don't know if I want to take a chance on this spot. How do you kind of like factor all of that stuff in?
So it's a few things I'm looking at, when I'm going for a location. At that time when I first started, I was just trying to go anywhere they would let me put it. I was trying to get my foot. But now it's like, all right, you got to look at the neighborhood is in. Like, so you got to look at the area. Like, so you look at the surrounding area. Is it stores in that area for them to go to? So if that building is like isolated, that's better because now it's like, all right, there ain't no stores. They going to have to use a machine. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. The next thing I'm looking for is like visibility. So is my machine somewhere where people can see it, where everybody can access it? Like, cause sometimes I had a hotel before and I ended up not even getting it because the guy wanted to put it in the basement, in the back of the basement. I'm like, I'm not putting the machine in. Nobody's gonna know what's down there. And then there was a gas station across the street, so I already didn't like the gas station across the street, but I still was gonna do it. But then he wanted to put it in the back of the basement. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Like, I ended up just selling that location off to somebody else. But yeah, so you wanted to be in a place where they could see it, but just make sure that's cool with the actual location because sometimes they don't like it to be seen, for whatever reasons. And then you're looking at foot traffic. So I know some people get confused sometimes when I say foot traffic because they think I'm just talking about like the people coming in and out or whatever, but it could just be the employees that's working there on a daily basis, the people that's coming in and out, and it's the people in that area in general. So the busier that area is, the more, foot traffic is going to be, and the more chances you got to actually make sales. And the last thing I would check is when people have, if it's somewhere they live in, or is it somewhere where it's like a waiting room? So anywhere they got like idle time. So idle time, that helped too because they sitting around, they gonna want a snack if they bored or something like that. Is just more likely to get some sales.
Hey, that's some good metrics to go off of though, man. That's really strategic.
Yeah. And I had a question.
Another thing too is like steps and stuff because that's something you gotta watch out for too because you can't, some places you can't even fit the machine. So that's the one thing I always say too. The people who ask me about getting into the business, they be like, all right, well, where do I get the machines? Before you even think about getting a machine, you kind of got to figure out where it's going because not every machine could fit in every location. Because depending on the doorways and the hallways and steps and all that type of stuff, you might need a small machine or you might need like a certain type of machine to actually get into where you're trying to get into. So,
okay, I remember my question. So you mentioned that you sold off that location. So what does that look like? Like not just the selling off of locations, like are you getting a contract with these people and just flipping the contract to them, kind of like a wholesale?
Yeah, so like I said, I was wholesale boy around that time too, so I was already selling contracts. So so I had a contract with them, and I ended up selling it. I sold the contract to another guy I know did vending, and he wanted it, so I sold the place to him.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then, and then he ended up getting that location.
So with the contracts, you're basically on a term saying, I'm going to use your facility for such and such amount of time. Y'all agree to a price, and then you're locked in for that period?
Yeah, so with the contract, basically, I got my liabilities in there, to everything I'm covering, everything I'm responsible for, the term, like how long I'm going to be in there, what I'm responsible for. And then if I'm paying them any percentage, I got that in there too.
For sure.
I wanted to ask a question kind of piggybacking off that too. You had mentioned about buying a route earlier in your story. What Can you kind of explain that a little bit more for the followers who like don't know anything about like what you even mean by buying a route?
So if you got multiple locations, they call that a route. So if you got like 5 spots, 5 locations, all right, that's your route. That's what you work. You go to each of those locations and, you work that. That's how you make your money. But you could, instead of you just buying a vending machine and putting it in a location, you could buy out a vending machine already in place and already making money. Right. So that's if you buy a location. But if you do that, if a person sells that multiple spots, you're buying that whole like route out, a part of that route or whatever, whatever it may be.
So is there like listings for these, or do you just have to like hit up the vending owner, or like they hit up somebody like you and ask if
Yeah,
you
like
trying
you
to
just
sell
plugged in, like, yeah.
I mean, for real, they do list them sometimes, like on Craigslist. You'll find it. If you put in vending machine route, sometimes you'll find it. Right now, I get them from like other companies. Like, so I work with bigger companies too, like, which is where I learned a lot of my stuff from. So I think the guy I do business with, he did, like last year, he did like 1.9 million. Like he got like hundreds of locations.
Like M's,
so,
some M's.
he get M's. Like, so but he only get like big spots. So he'll get like a hospital and that type of stuff. But along the line, like people will call him and be like, hey, we need service here or whatever. And if that's not something that he feel like he want to take on, he'll hit me up or he'll hit, one of my guys up and be like, yo, y'all want this spot? You know what I'm saying? So, and then off of that, like, we'll buy the locations. Or he might sell, like I said, I sell, like, when I grow to a certain extent, I sell a small part of my route or whatever. I sell, like, the slowest part. He do the same, but what's slow to him is not slow to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different because it's like his joints are so crazy. It's like,
It's all about the where you at on your scalability, though. Because, like, your slow routes might be faster than somebody else who's just getting started.
Right. Like, it's better than nothing. But, yeah, you're right. Like, it depends what level you on. I'm kind of in the middle right now. Like, so I could take his slow joints and it'll still be good for mine.
Yeah, but you're grinding and you're hungry and, like, you're looking at it. And that's what's really cool. And I said what I kind of, like, took away from your story earlier. You had the foresight and the vision. Even as a young baller, you was like, I'm playing, but I see her getting her money too. Because you got a lot of those people, they going to be bullshitting while they balling. Like, young people, we ain't going to be thinking about what the vending machine lady doing. Yeah, like, so you had that foresight to say, you know what, that's some shit that I can probably make pop.
Yeah, I think, me as a person has always kind of been an entrepreneurial individual. Like, so even like, I used to sell waters like on the corner. We used to go to pizza stores and fold boxes. Like, so I was kind of already, my mindset. Like, it's always been my mindset to figure out ways to make a couple dollars.
So if I'm a listener out there and I'm trying to think about getting into the vending machine business, what is the startup cost and what are the first steps that I need to take?
All right, so the startup cost, well, you got to look at the vending machine. So your vending machine going to run you anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500, depending on what type of machine you get and depending on what you want on it. Now, we live in a more of a technology world now, so I would recommend you having a card reader on the machine because you'll get more sales. Like, you can get it without it, but you get the card reader on it, that's definitely going to increase your sales by at least like 20, 30%. So look to spend at least like $1,000 to $1,500, just for the vending machine. And then you're going to have to get your products. It's probably going to cost about maybe $150 to $200 to fill up, depending on what type of machine. But you got to also think, too, one location might need 2 machines. So, you got to keep that in mind. It all depends how they want to do it. So you might have to times that by 2. And then you got your moving costs. So you're going to have to either hire movers or you're going to have to rent a truck. I never use movers. I just get, my guys and we move the stuff around ourselves. But, so it's probably around $100, maybe $200 for that. The cheapest I would say you could do it is like $1,200 if you like really, really skimming. But I would say that a safer bet is around like $3,000. If you got like $3,000, I think that's a pretty, a solid amount. At least to get 1 machine in a location, and get the ball rolling. If you gotta get 2, it'd probably be a little more than that. But it all depends. It's hard to say.
And if y'all can't afford that startup cost, y'all remember, go with them little gumball machines, man. Y'all can still get it popping. Y'all just got to have determination.
Right. You just gotta start somewhere. But you know, the trick part is, you know, somebody just getting started. A lot of people get intimidated when it comes to being able to, you know, find the location.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, you know, finding the machines ain't too hard. Like once you figure out where to look, but you know, finding the locations, you gotta really put in work. It's at least until you get a system in place and you get to know people and people get to know what you do. Like because now, like they pretty much, they call us when stuff comes up. But before, like you really had to, you know what I'm saying, get out there. And I know you guys mentioned y'all did the wholesale stuff before. It's kind of similar to that. Like I learned from that. Now I kind of bring it over to the vending machine stuff. Like, so, like, you know, if y'all heard, you know, when people say driving for dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I drive around looking for locations. Like, so I drive and look for different spots. What I was looking for mainly was, I look for construction sites because, you know, it's so competitive and a lot of spots already had machines. Even though some of the spots that I got, you know, machines are already in there, you know, they just switched out, but you know, I'll look for new locations being built. Like if I see a laundromat being built or just any like decent sized building, I'll approach them. Once the actual number gets posted and all that type of stuff, I keep an eye on it. Or you could do the cold calling. So, you know, you break down the zip codes. If you want to break it down by zip codes, get a list of the type of businesses you targeting, cold call, build the list, you know, wait for something to come back off of that. So there's a number of different ways to actually go about getting locations, but I know that's the main thing. It always stops people.
Hey, man, my brother out here dropping the gems. Hey, so if I was ever thinking about it, this is definitely the perfect time for y'all to act. I have another question because whenever you said liability, it kind of sparked another question in me. Is there any type of special insurance you can get since you're putting them in these different locations or anything? I know sometimes, you know, people might break in, rob, and kind of vandalize some stuff. So is there special ways you can protect yourself in this game?
Yeah, you should definitely have your machines insured. It's just basic insurance, though. It's not nothing like, you know, special. They're going to go by the model and make it a machine. So even though I think that $900 machine I had, it was insured for like $1,500. So, you know, if something was to happen to that, I would have got that out of it. But you should definitely have insurance because, you know, you're right. Depending on where you got it, vandalism does happen. And you know, it's all about when you get in a safe place and you know you really ain't got to deal with that too much.
And would that be like just with a regular insurance company, or is there a special?
Yeah, you can go through like State Farm and all those type of guys. They have a business, you know, insurance side too, so you could use them. There's no like vending machine type of specialty insurance, like company or anything. Maybe that's something somebody can start though. I don't know. It might be a good idea.
Hey, if y'all listening, start it. If not, I'ma do it.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I had thought about that though, as far as like starting an ancillary business around it for finding locations, because I heard that was a thing like locator finders or something like that, and I tried to Google them and I found like 2 that actually worked and they were expensive.
Yeah, the locators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, locators can cost up to $1,000, man. I mean, you could get one from overseas, you know, on like Fiverr or something, like one of those type of deals, and you end up, you know, you probably pay like $200-300 if you could get them, you know, teach them how to do it. But yeah, locators can be expensive. I don't like using locators because they just find you anything. Like, so I had bad experiences with locators.
I can imagine, because it looked like a pretty unrefined market.
Yeah, they pretty much just call around, and then whoever, you know, they cold call, especially if they're not there. That's all they can do is cold call. So they'll call around and this whoever says yes, they're gonna say, all right, they're gonna count that as your location. But they'll try to, if you know, especially if you knew, they'll get over on you. You know, they'll try to count that as your location. But it really, if you're doing that, man, you really should have a set term that they need to go by. Like it has to have a certain amount of foot traffic. It should be like those other things that I said in the beginning. Like it should have all that. it shouldn't just be just because they want a vending machine. You go put a vending machine in there and then you pay them money for it. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I got you.
And I got a question. I remember you said, you're building this up for your son and everything. I know he's only 3 years old, you said, but how are you going to really just set this up to where you can make it like for that longevity? Yeah.
I guess the way I'm trying to do that now is just making sure I'm keeping up with the times, like the things as small as like the card readers. And, I'm hitting it from different avenues. Like, so I got a lot of times, when people got vending services, I get some office buildings. So people want coffee. So I get them the coffee too. Like I trying to expand without expanding too much so I can still handle it.
Yeah.
But I add different services as time goes on.
That innovation, man. You gotta be innovative to keep up with it, man.
Yeah, basically, just try to be as innovative as possible. So there's a lot of different machines out there, though, man. I know I was doing research one time because people kept asking me about it. I found some. They had pizza vending machines. It was like hair vending machines. It was a lot. It was a lot of different type of junk. So I mean, it's definitely if you want to do it in an innovative way and be creative and think of something new, it's it's a lot out there you can go with. I'm not
I got
sure
a great
how to
vending
get
machine
into
out there.
the extra stuff. Like all I really know is the snacks and the sodas, but it's definitely it's a market out there for it.
For sure. I know I seen that pizza vending machine. I think it was in Toronto. I think it was actually on Byron and Chinese store.
That's crazy.
I think it was in Toronto. I think it was in Canada.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Damn, that's crazy. I never heard of that.
And like they
cook it?
Yeah, like so you just go put up your order, like build your own pizza, and then boom, like 10 minutes later you got the pizza coming.
Man, I know my idea could get popular if that's the case, man. I can't tell nobody about it, but I promise I'm gonna get it cracked.
But that would be cool though. Like with that pizza, I could see that working. Like you throw that on a college campus or something, like late at night or something like that. I could see that really working.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what else I seen on the college campus? A vending machine wise, they had a Plan B vending machine.
Hey, effective though.
I can't remember. It was an HSBC. I can't remember what school it was, but it was a Plan B vending machine, man. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
I like it.
Damn.
So, question: do you do anything else over like anything that's kind of like that crossover, similar to vending machines, like ATMs or stuff like that too, or no?
I looked into ATMs. They tried to talk me into doing it. I thought about doing it, but I never did it. I never pulled the trigger on it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if the right opportunity presented itself, I might. But right now, I'm pretty much just sticking with the vending machines. I know the guy that I told y'all about that make that the big money.
Yeah.
He do like air. Like, you go to the gas station and you get air in your tires, whatever. You put the little coins in that air pump. Like, he got those. Like, so that's a form of vending.
Yeah, no, you can do that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a vending.
Yeah, like he got them, John. He come with a big old cinder block. He just drop them in the ground. Like, so.
What?
It's a couple different things, man. For real, it's a couple different other forms of vending that that's out there. I pretty much been staying in my lane.
But that's cool though. It's cool that you got all those different options with it too. So like even if like especially for any of the followers listening, even if they don't specifically want to do vending machines, they can come to you, learn the basics, and then potentially move off to something else, like a different niche that they like.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
I mean, within the business itself though, it's a few different ways to make money. Like I said, like if you just wanted to buy and sell routes. That could be a business within itself if you're actually good at finding the routes. Because routes, people tend to sell routes for cheap. I think the cheapest one I brought was $3,500. It was 6 machines and 3 locations.
Huh?
So it was 6 machines, 3 locations, $3,500.
$3,500.
Yeah, $3,500. And I ended up I kept one. I had one on the college dorm, which was what's that, Penn? I think it's Is that Penn? Drexel, Penn or Drexel. They're all in the same area, but it was downtown. I kept that one and I sold off the other 2. His route went out to Delaware. I didn't want to go all the way to Delaware. I sold those 2 off. They were both good like spots. I sold it for $35 a piece. Ended up making 7 off of those.
Damn.
So if you get good at like that type of stuff, and then you also got like what you said, like people do the locations. Once you get find a location, that could be a service in itself.
That's what I was definitely thinking. Like
repair, vending machine repair could be a service within itself. So it's different, like little lanes. You know what I'm saying? Like once you actually learn, you can make extra checks off of.
For the individuals, you can just vertically integrate yourself and fix your own shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Then start charging everybody else. Start finding routes, charging. Man.
Yeah.
It's a whole bag being slept on.
Hey, this vending machine shit. Hey, man, I'm about to go find me some right now, cuz.
But, you know, I think people are starting to wake up a little bit more. I saw a thread on Twitter the other day, and somebody was kind of comparing them, and he was saying, you know, I'd rather have some vending machines versus having real estate. He was like, I have to deal with less repairs. He was like, no people involved. I get to make more consistent money. And I was like, I can kind of see where you're coming from a little bit.
I mean, the only thing with real estate, though, is it appreciates. So I don't know.
Very true.
I don't know. I like real estate, man. I'm a vending machine guy, but I still it's bigger money. Like, it's quicker, too. Like, so, you know. But I did have a guy hit me up one time. He was trying to tell me I was lying. He was like, man, he said I only make $5,000 a month from my rentals or something. Like, you can't make that much off machines. I was like, okay. Like, what you want me to say? Like, you think I'm not going to be able to convince you that I'm not going to show you. Like, I'm not going to, you don't believe me. You just don't believe me. Like, so, I mean, you know, people do compare them. I hear that, you know, sometimes, but they different. I actually, I like them together because, you know, when you get into the real estate thing, and sometimes, you know, with that large sums of money and whatnot, it ties your money up. Like, I know a guy, he owned like a whole bunch of properties over near here in Camden, over in Jersey. You know, he had a lot of houses, man, but sometimes he would get in situations where his money was just tied up. So, I mean, just having that extra cash flow on the side that you can get to any time, like with the vending machine stuff, I can go to any location. I remember one time I ran out of gas. I ran out of gas somewhere, just being lazy, not, you know, trying to hurry up and get from spot to spot. Ran out of gas. I was like, damn, like, what I'm going to do? And I was like, you know what? I got like 3 vending machines around here. You know, I hopped out the car, went to the spots, grabbed the money, went to the gas station, got a little, you know, the little handle thing or whatever, little gas tank, and got back to the car. Like, so just having the ability to get to the money at any time is probably like one of the biggest advantages of the vending machine thing.
That's cool.
I ain't never thought about it like that either, man.
That's cool.
But I would say one of the like one thing people like always think though is like it's super passive. It's not really passive. Like once you get past like 6 machines, it's like if you on average anyway. I'm just talking about average. Like of course every spot is different, but on average, like when your average type of your location, once you get past like 6 machines, it's like kind of like a part-time thing. Once you get around like 20 and all that, like it's a full-time thing because you gotta keep up with the inventory. You know, you gotta keep up with your maintenance when stuff is happening, customers or whatever. You know, you always gotta deal with them. So you know, it's just the more you get, the more time it takes up. So it's not like super passive like a lot of people think it is.
I got one last because you made me think about something. So like you said, the maintenance. Whenever people the machine take your money, does that come out of your money or does that come out of the facility cut?
Say that again.
Like, okay, you ever put money in a vending machine and like you never got your item out? Does that come out of your cut or does that come out of the facility's cut?
I take care of that. So usually I have a phone number on all the machines, like most people do. Like you'll see a service number. They can call the service number and tell me, or they'll leave a note with whoever like security guard or something like that, and I'll cover if they lost something. And sometimes I can't tell really. I just like keeping a good rapport with the spots. So they say they lost something, I just give it back to them. If they want the product, I give them the product. If they want the dollar back or whatever it was they lost, I give them that. But I take care of it. I don't put it on the location.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think now we're gonna pivot to the last segment of the podcast. We do a segment called "What's on Your Timeline?" Kashief, we just want to ask you what's something that you've seen on social media, either that you posted or somebody else posted that you thought was important or impactful, and that you want to speak on.
Oh, let me think. All right, so I know one post. I think it was on mine that I got from somebody else's. I'm trying to remember exactly how it goes, but I think it said, if you died today, your job will be posted tomorrow. Something like that. Like, so I just think that was, when I first read that, like it was impactful to me because, I watch, my family and I watch so many people. Ain't nothing wrong with working, like ain't nothing wrong with a job, like, but I think it should be used more as like a tool. It shouldn't be like, end all be all. And I see so many people putting so much time, like 40, 30 years into these places that once you gone, like they not going to think twice. They're not going to look out for you. Like, so, you know, that's something that I've seen that really, you know, stood out as of late anyway.
Sure. That's major, bro. That's I think that's one of the biggest reasons, like, I want to do the entrepreneurship thing so bad. It's because even like my dad is somebody that he worked at the same place the whole time while I'm living. Like, he told me that, like, when I was getting into this, he's like, man, if you don't want to work for people, eventually you're going to say fuck them people, because then people will say fuck you. Real life. Like, it's just what it is. For real.
I think when I think I was working in a residential place, like, it was high turnover. And I used to watch them fire so many people. Like, it was just crazy. They just come to work, walk in the door, they call them in the office, they walk right back out the door. I was like, damn, like, but I even at that time, I still had my machines. It was just like if I ever was in that position, it's like, all right, so if they fire me, like, I still got bills, I still got kids, I still got, you know what I'm saying? I still got stuff I need to take care of financially. So if all my marbles is in that one, you know what I'm saying, in that one thing, like, what would I ever do if, you know, somebody just said, no, you done. All right, so I just never wanted to be in that position, like, once I thought about it. So that's when I kind of got more aggressive with everything else.
Hey, that's for real though. Like, that's some real life situations you got to think about, man. For real. Man, what else do you offer? Do you offer any type of like classes where you can help people get started? Where can the people find you at, my brother? Just anything, plug yourself in.
Right now I got an ebook, you know, for people that's looking to learn the business on like a simple format. It's, you know, just telling them how to find locations, telling them how to find machines, the best way to set things up for people to find them. That's the real like key to the location thing, is for them to find you. Like, once you get to the point where they finding you, like they calling you, people calling you, that's when it becomes easier. Like, if you always on the hunt for locations, it can be stressful. Like, so you want to get to the point where the locations is calling you. So it pretty much talks about that. And that can be found on the website, thevendingbiz.com, or you know, our Instagram channel, which is the Vending Biz. But I also got a course, man. I got a course coming out. So I know with the book, the difference between the course and the book is the book pretty much just tells people, you know, how to do things. I didn't really go into too much depth, I know, but with the course, I kind of show people. Like, so, you know, one of the things I talked about was like websites help the people find you, because, you know, what the first thing the companies do when they are actually searching for vending machine, you know, for vending services, they just use Google like everybody else. Like, you type in vending machine service in whatever area they at, you know, and whatever companies pop up, that's the ones they choose and they call them. Like, so it teaches you how to, you know, set yourself up to people to find you and just everything else. It actually shows you, it's like a walkthrough thing. So that should be out by like Wednesday. I'm still kind of working on that, but it's almost done.
For sure. Hey, y'all go follow him. Y'all check out that ebook. Y'all be on the lookout for that course. Yeah, for sure. My brother, y'all can tell he got a lot of knowledge, man. He just dropped a lot of game. So y'all definitely go support him, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to help you out on your way.
All right, man. Thank y'all for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, my brother.
Yeah, bro, we appreciate you coming drop.
Yeah, man, we appreciate that, bro. You definitely gave us a lot of insight on this business, man. Even just like all the ancillary services that can go on within it, man.
All I gotta say is BWR Vending Machine coming soon.
For sure. So we're gonna get into some housekeeping before we actually fully wrap up this episode. Once again, we just want to say thank you to all our listeners for coming in and coming out every week with us, constantly just helping us grow. Y'all go to the website. Y'all go check out what we got to offer, blackwealthrenaissance.com. Y'all go check out our Instagram page. Our Instagram page, we got a lot of things going on. We're just dropping a lot of helpful resources, a lot of dope pages like our brother Vending Biz. Y'all also follow us on Twitter. We got our Twitter popping, BWR_movement. Y'all can follow us on LinkedIn.
Yeah, we Black Wealth Renaissance on LinkedIn. And also, guys, make sure you tune into our YouTube. We're starting to post more content on YouTube. Our YouTube, just search Black Wealth Renaissance. A lot more original content, helpful things for you to help grow your brand and just in the personal finance realm. So,
also, y'all be on the lookout. Our ebook is dropping soon. We have our ebook dropping soon. We have our social media webinar dropping. We have our social media course dropping. So definitely, if y'all need any help with social media consultations, y'all just give us a call, give us a DM, and we'll be happy to help you guys out. Last thing, Patreon. We got a new Patreon. Go sign up. We just dropped a whole bunch of unreleased content. Y'all got it out for free. Kelly, what's our Patreon link?
It's patreon.com/THEBWR. That's patreon.com/THEBWR.
Sorry, y'all, it's not free. It started at $1.
Yeah, it's only $1, but that's just helping us get out and actually go do some things in the community, like what we had with Atlanta like 2 weeks ago. So, hey, we appreciate y'all, and until next time, this is Black Wealth Renaissance signing out. Peace.
I got money on my mind, I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line, unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily, all I want is dubs, you know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper, all I know is run money marathons. I got money on my mind, I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line, unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily, all I want is dubs, you know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper, all I know is run money marathons. You can catch me with it.
92% of households that start the year with Peloton are still active a year later.
92% because of a bike?
Not just bikes. We also make treadmills and rowers.
Oh, let me guess, for elite athletes only, right?
Nope. It doesn't matter if you're an avid exerciser or new to working out. Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. 92% stick with it. So can you. Try Peloton bikes, tread, or row risk-free with a 30-day home trial. New members only. Not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.